good afternoon. This is your host, Big Buck, and Mr. Tim Beret. How you doing today, Mr. Tim? How things going down there in Clemson land?
Doing great. Good to see you, Buck. I been on the road over the last 10 days or so. I went to Florida to work for NBC Sports on their coverage of one of the World Golf Championship events down at the Concession Club. It was about a 10-hour drive from here, but it was beautiful weather. We had a great tournament. And it's always good to work with the NBC people. They're a first-class organization. But then I came back, got back Tuesday night in time to work one of the baseball games. The Tigers beat East Tennessee State. Much needed win after they had lost two heartbreaking games to South Carolina on walk-offs by South Carolina over the previous weekend. And then now this coming weekend, my alma mater, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, come to Clemson for a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday series. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The Clemson basketball team beat Miami last Saturday and then lost last night at Syracuse, which was a tough game. Tough place to play, tough situation. Syracuse was kind of in a desperate situation. They had to win to get in the NCAA tournament. Clemson's in good shape to get in the NCAA. Anywhere from a 7 to an 8 seed, according to most of the prognosticators. And then tonight, the Lady Tigers, who you've always followed closely, they play Notre Dame in women's basketball tonight. So it's a Notre Dame Clemson weekend coming up this weekend.
The girls at home this weekend?
No, it's in the ACC tournament in Greensboro.
Okay, so
yeah, they're already in the ACC
tournament. Okay.
Yeah, they're already in the ACC tournament, so they're going to have some fans there, a limited amount. But Clemson won the regular season meeting by 20 points. But Notre Dame's much improved since then, so should be a good game tonight. It's 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Wayne Buckingham time.
That's it. So this is our great segment where we talk a little bit about Clemson. It's our day for our life after sports with our former players from Clemson all around the world. We have a great special guest coming in tonight from, I think he's from Texas. Would you give us a little bit about our special guest, Tim?
Yes, our special guest tonight is Chris Lancaster. Chris was a fullback back in the days when the fullback was a very prominent person in the Clemson offense, and we'll talk to him as we had probably the greatest blocking combinations of fullbacks during the mid-1980s. He played for the Tigers from 1985 to 1987. He was injured and couldn't play his senior year in 1988, but he and Tracy Johnson were the greatest blocking combination of fullbacks and that we ever had. Danny Ford would be the first one to tell you that. So, Buck, why don't we bring him on?
Hi, guys.
And there he is, smiling Chris Lancaster. How you doing, Chris?
I'm outstanding. How are y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm up here in Tennessee.
I'm doing great. It's good to see. And Buck's over there in Tennessee. I'm in China. What a country we have here. So you came to Clemson from Mableton, Georgia, as I remember.
Right.
And you're now coaching in Texas. Why don't we go backwards? Tell us about your coaching career first.
Well, it's been a long journey. When I got injured there at Clemson and I couldn't play my senior year, I was given the opportunity to finish out as a student assistant. So I did that for 88 season, and I did not redshirt, so I had a fifth year. And so I was able to do that the 89 season. And that's when Coach Ford resigned and all the assistant coaches dispersed across the country. And I followed Chuck Reedy to Baylor University and worked on my master's there, started coaching there at a young age, and then had the opportunity to go back to Clemson with Ken Hatfield and did that for a season. And then Chuck becomes the head coach at Baylor University, so he brings me back as a full-time coach. So gave me my foot in the door, and Chuck was very loyal to me and good to me, and so gave me my first start as a coach. I coached there at Baylor for 4 years with him. In the business, how they make changes. They made a change with coach at that time, got a new AD at Baylor, so they went a different route. So that put us out on the street. I resurfaced at Sam Houston State, did that for 2 years as the offensive line coach and offensive coordinator. Befriended some guys down at McNeese State in Louisiana and went there for 2 seasons as the offensive line coach. And then I had the opportunity to go to University of Kentucky and did that for 2 years. And then somehow got back to Baylor when they hired Guy Morris. I worked for Guy Morris at Kentucky, and we were there 2 years and went back to Baylor and did that for 4. And then I decided to get into high school coaching. And I am from Mableton, Georgia, but I spent my junior high years and my high school years at Riverside Military Academy in Gainesville, Georgia. So I consider Gainesville part of my home. I was there 6 years, played under Errol Biso, my high school coach, and some great teammates that I had. And thank God that my coach's son, Richard Biso, attended wrestling camp at Clemson in his 9th grade year. And that's how I found out about Clemson. He goes, man, we got to go to football camp. So we went up there for 3 years. And Buck, you don't probably know this, but how I got a scholarship, it wasn't because I was talented. And now I was ginger and bright orange hair, but I could break dance. And so, back in the 80s, those summer nights and football camps, that's all we did. We danced. And I think the coaches kind of fell in love with me. And we always had a good personality, us military guys coming up there. So that's kind of hitting a whirlwind. I've been out here in the state of Texas after Baylor. I went back to Riverside and coached for 2 years, and then I came back here to Texas. And I kind of consider Texas now where I've been a lot of years, and it's kind of home. All my networking, my college years, and my high school coaching years are here. I've been a high school coach now. I've started this new gig here at Academy High School. We're right outside of Temple, Texas. We're a 3A program. I'm the head coach. I took this job last March. We went into COVID, so we kind of got shut down. But we had a great year this year. Went 7-4 and made it to the first rounds and got beat by the. They were predicted to win state, but they lost it in the state game. So they had a running back that signed with Texas. So he was pretty special. We just couldn't hang on to him. But I'm around tremendous and great people. So just blessed.
Talk about the difference between coaching college kids, high school kids. Most of the people who have gone into high school, especially at the end of their career,
right,
they just feel it's very rewarding because you on some of these kids.
Yeah, Tim, no doubt. And there was times in college, you can get close to the kids in college because you actually went and recruited them. You were in their homes, living rooms. You got to know them from, basically from their freshman year. You followed them, you courted them, so to speak, rolled out the red carpet. And then, you had to, when you signed them, you had to break them down and make them tough and yell at them some, so they kind of look at you different. But I kind of felt more also as a cheerleader too at that time, because you're getting that age of a kid who's after, they're already, I'm not saying they're fully grown adults yet, but they've had a great high school coach or a mom and dad or a grandparent or an aunt and uncle that's been very significant in their life. And for you to try to jump in there and be that difference maker, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So I kind of felt like I was more of a cheerleader and put the kids in the right place. And now I've been very blessed and been able to coach some great kids in my college days. But the high school kids, I'm really in charge of the football program all the way down to the 7th grade. And so we have to handle everything from A to Z. We have to handle the strength and conditioning. We encourage them to play other sports, be very multiple in that. And so I think we're just really a big part of their lives. And that's just very rewarding after a hard day, and they come up and they hug your neck and they say, Coach, thank you. And that's what my high school coach did for me. And that's why I'm still doing this to this day.
So how many years? Hey, so Chris, how many years have you been coaching?
Oh, Buck, since 1988, really, as a student. So I wasn't really good in math, but so I could. It's been a lot of years, So
So you've been doing about 30.
So when you were playing at Clemson, did you think about being a coach, even when you're playing?
Tim, that's a great point. I never did. I went and I got a management degree, and so I never really thought. I think we all come in there, Buck, and I wanted to play NFL. I don't know if I would ever had a chance. Might have got into a camp somewhere somehow. I was not real talented. I don't know even how I got on the field. I was blessed with a lot of leadership skills. I was blessed with a good heart and effort. Tracy was by far, I think, a tremendous fullback. I couldn't carry the ball and run at the same time, but I had a niche in blocking. And so the opportunity happened for me as a freshman, and I took advantage of it. But, when you go back and look at it, I was surrounded by such great leaders with Coach Ford and the staff that he had there at Clemson. I mean, you're talking about some great coaches. And then when I got hurt, I was thrown into a room with the graduate assistant coaches, Danny Pearman, Gene Chiswick, Robert McFarland, Todd Schonar. We're going to bless his heart and rest in peace, Todd. Barney Farah, Matt Wanaboo. We just had some great people there. And I'm one of those kids that always paid attention. Larry Vanderhayden. I can't say enough about Larry Vanderhayden. This guy would coach and sweat would just drip off his hat. And he was part of the Dirty 30 back at Iowa State. And I just relished in that. And I could see myself doing that. And when I got that opportunity, Coach Ford trust us. Coach Reedy really trusted me. I had a great relationship with Chuck. Chuck, he knew that I knew the plays inside out. He let me coach on the field while he was in the box. And I just felt like I was wanted, and I took responsibility, and I just ran with it. And that just became a way of life.
Hey, we have somebody chimed in with a question. It's right there at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
John Clay, he said, what is your favorite moment at Clemson?
Man, all of it. Again, I went to a military high school, but we didn't even have lights on our game field, okay? Our home games were played at 3:30 in the afternoon. You can ask Terry Allen. I played against Terry Allen. He was from Banks County, Commerce, Georgia. And so, we had to walk ourselves up to the football field, march, And then when you had an opportunity to go to a place like Clemson and just the people and just not one memory, since we lost Schonar, I go back to that kick we had in 1986, Tim. You remember? It was a 47-yard field goal. David Treadwell, Todd Schonar was holding. I think Spry was the snapper at that time. And,
yeah.
It was just – I was the right wing. Tracy was the other wing. And it's moments like that. Buck, I'm old school, old fashioned. I love the time in the huddle. Today I watch football, they don't even huddle up. And just having a huddle, being able to break a huddle, 11 guys breaking the huddle and knowing that it's going to take all 11 of you to move that ball 4 yards or 5 yards, 6 yards, get a first down. That's special to me. And then just the people, I named a daughter Clemson. A lot of people don't know that. And so Clemson to me is a very special place. And it gave me an opportunity to go and let me be who I am. And I'm just very blessed. So I don't know. I can't narrow it down to one moment. One memory. We had a lot of victories. In that tenure, we won the ACC 3 times. We were in a bowl game every year. Probably I did get to score a touchdown at Georgia Tech in 1986. And so I think I scored 5 throughout my career, maybe, Tim. I know I didn't carry the ball much. Yep.
You're right, 5.
I know one time as a freshman, I went 255 straight plays without ever touching the football. I had fumbled. I fumbled at Duke. We were playing at Duke, and I know my school board member. He's probably listening. He's a Duker, and I fumbled, and it was 255 snaps later that I ever put my hands back on a football. So, but I knew my role. You know, as The Rock says, you got to know your role, baby. So I knew my role.
Right. Well, you got I can't see that little word. Can you see that bottom 10? Coach Lance is doing a great job.
Yeah.
But Texas, we are very
Yeah,
pleased
here in
to have
Academy,
him.
Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Calvin. He's a Duke graduate, and he's the voice of the Eagle or the Bumblebees out here where I'm at, and he's just a great guy. And we're very lucky to have him on our school board.
So let me
Chris,
ask you this.
mentioned.
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
I was
Tim.
going to just think. Okay, I was going to say, Chris, you mentioned Todd Schonar a couple of times, and we lost him due to COVID recently. And he just was a guy who always put a smile on my face every time I saw him. A great personality, and I know you remember this, the time that he rode in on the horse for the Florida State game, dressed up as a Seminole Indian to fire up the team and pounded the spear in the ground. That was the darndest thing I can ever remember.
You know, Tim. I mean, he was the ultimate locker room guy. You know, Coach Ford. We all know Coach Ford played for Bear Bryant, and so Coach Ford was a player's coach, but he also worked us very, very hard.
Oh yeah.
And back in that days, you know, we didn't have lawyers looking out for us. We didn't have NC2A. You know, we could practice a long time. I can count on my hands how many times we started practice over. I can count on my hands how many times he stopped practice, sent us to the chow
I remember
hall.
3 a days in the preseason.
My first year, 3 a days, and even on Sunday, and so, but Show had a way of lightening things up, and he was just a great character. And you know, I go back to that one play. You know, I can count on my hand, both hands, how many mistakes I had in that Georgia game. And if he would have had just one mistake on that one certain play, we wouldn't have won that ball game. And so you talking about pressure, and we're going to have a ceremony, and I don't know if, but March 20th we're going to be in Easley, South Carolina, and we're going to put some little closure to that. I visit with Julia about every other day. She's an hour south from me in Austin, and Amy and I, my wife Amy, we went down and visited her last Saturday, and it's been tough.
She was Show and I cheerleader, as I remember.
Cheerleader, and you know, Show and I got to coach together at Sam Houston State. We have been in touch, I mean, daily, and so I got so many stories I can tell you. That riding that horse is just a tick turd of what that old boy can do. Very talented, and just what he did for Clemson. And you talk about great ambassadors, him and Julia, just great ambassadors of Clemson. I mean, everything's orange in their house, everything. And so it's just a tragedy that we lost him at such a young age.
Yeah, absolutely. He was just a great guy. And, you know, it made me think about all you guys who were GAs at that time who went on to be successful. But I also think about Coach Ford and thinking, all right, who are we going to get to dress up as an Indian and ride the horse? I bet it took him 2 seconds to say, Shonar, he's the guy.
Well, it was us saying, Coach, we got an idea. And, you know, Coastal Carolina got a lot of credit this year doing the wrestling and all that. We did that stuff a long time ago. You know, we're lucky we didn't have social media back in our day, because we would be all rock stars now, famous, Buck, you know. I mean,
Buck knows about it. He probably would have been too.
Yeah. I mean, we would impersonate every coach on staff. Shonar could do Howard Cosell. He could do Tom. I mean, he would get on the bus. You know, we would travel to Anderson, South Carolina. He would get on that microphone. He had a way of doing a horse race, and he'd put every one of us in that horse race, and just – he was a classic and just a great individual. And just those are some of my best memories, John Clayton. I know you asked that question on the great memories, and can't get enough of it.
No, you're
to tell these young kids, I try to give these young kids some of that here. and to get them to appreciate the time that they have and to appreciate these moments. And sometimes I think our society, we're just going 90 miles an hour with select, with everything, the pressure of getting a scholarship. Just enjoy the moment. And, and that's what I try to do.
Hey, Chris, go ahead, Buck.
So, Chris, let me ask you, I got one question. So I know you did a walk-on at Clemson, so your mom and dad, y'all traveled over the world, the Army brat. So my question is, what was that process? How, I know you said, how did you get out there? How did you end up getting on the team? Coach Ford came to you. We like to know how did that happen?
Buck, I went to football camps there 3 summers, and my specialty was I was a deep snapper. And so I actually got my scholarship deep snapping and breakdancing. And then I also practiced with the fullbacks. And so this was 1985 season. I think we started out 1-3, Tim.
That's
we were
correct.
Like 1-4.
Yes.
And went up to Kentucky.
Coach Ford decided he was going to throw the ball with Randy Anderson as the quarterback, who's God rest his soul, was a great guy too. But we started out 1-3, had a close loss to Georgia at home, and then we lost to Kentucky. And when we got back from Kentucky, Coach Ford said, "All right, we're going back to do it the way I want to do it," which meant running the football, which meant you, who didn't play the first 4 games of that season.
No.
That means you were activated, and here we go. We're going to run the ball down people's throats.
Well, I was over on field number 5 getting my head beat into by Michael Dean Perry and the boys being a scout team fullback. And we were playing Virginia, and this was a Tuesday's practice.
Right.
This was a Tuesday practice. And so I think Tracy Johnson was the other true freshman. We were both freshmen. Tracy played All-American out of Kannapolis. He had muscles in his earlobe, Tim. He had a neck from here. You think mine big, but that cat, he had muscles in his earlobe. And, he was already third team. I think we had Rodney Quick and George Smith, who transferred in from A&M ahead of him.
Yes, that's correct.
So when Coach Ford wanted to go to that I and get back to running the toss sweep, ISO, power, counter, and all that, I don't think that they said, whoa. Well, he said, all right, by God, move Tracy up. Now, Coach Reedy, who you going to put behind him? He said, Coach, all we got's that redheaded kid over there for that military school. He said, well, bring him over. And this is Tuesday. And we always ended practice. We always ended Tuesday practice, good on good, inside drill, middle drill. And I probably got my first concussion on that Tuesday, Tim and Buck. So Henry Walls was playing linebacker. Eldred Milton. You had Henry Carter. You had the boys over there. And, as a rookie fullback, we're going to run ISO to the right. Well, I made the mistake and looked at them. They said, ISO coming right here. Yeah, it did. And after I picked my head up out of my rear end, and probably shook it off, I think I knocked one of them down. And so everybody kind of got excited. So Don Denning was the coach that signed me. He was my recruiting coach. And so he called my mama. He said, Miss Diane, he goes, y'all coming to the game Saturday? Oh, yeah, Chris got his tickets. He's going to tailgate with us. He goes, not so fast. He said, listen, don't know if he's going to play, but we're going to dress him. I think we're trying to motivate some other guys, some seniors ahead of him. And so Coach Ford's doing a little motivation. We're trying to turn this thing around. We're 1-3. And she said, well, do we still get tickets? Oh, yeah, you're going to get 4 tickets now. So anyway, so I travel with a team. And you talking about nervous. And Buck, probably the best thing at Clemson is we got treated first class. On Fridays, they'd load them buses up. We'd go down to Death Valley, do our walkthrough. You'd come back, you'd have a honey bun, a Coke, a milk, an apple. And then you'd bus to Anderson, South Carolina, check into your room, and then go eat a big old meal. And then they took us to the movie theater and gave us a popcorn, chocolate, and a soda pop. Then we come in for a team meeting. And then on the way out, you get another honey bun and a Wendy's hamburger with another Coca-Cola. I don't know how we got daggone warmed up on Saturday. and but your nerves would chew it down. So here I am going in my first Death Valley experience, and then I got to worry about running down the hill without tripping. So we get in the game, and they start Tracy, and I'm on the sideline, you know, and he plays the second series, and in that second series, he gets injured. He separates his shoulder. And here's the moment of truth, Buck. And Coach Ford looked at Reedy, and Reedy looked at me. He said, "Go on." I played 47 snaps that game. I don't even think they had a name on the back of my jersey. The announcers didn't even know who the heck I was. I wasn't even on the 2 deep, wasn't on the 3 deep. I don't even think I was in the damn – I don't even think they knew I even existed. And so, I was in the first Friday parade when we played Georgia. I was on the streets just watching, you know. And so I was just like a normal student. And so I you know, both the tailbacks, we had Kenny Flowers and Terrence Flagler and Stacy Driver. Stacy, Screwdriver. We called him Screwdriver. Stacy from Griffin, Georgia, Tim. And both of those backs, we got in the eye. We ran toss sweep about 106 times. And both of them had over 100 yards rushing. We beat Virginia, kept the streak going, and I started the rest of the year. And so it was just, it's a classic. I mean, it's hard. People look at me when I try to tell them a story. You crazy. There ain't no way. And so started my sophomore year, and I started having some neck problems. And I played with a bad neck, missed a game, I think, my sophomore year and my junior year, and got to a point Levon Kirkland was the last person I ever hit in practice. And so, and then I just couldn't, probably the worst day of my life. I'm still trying to recover from it.
So that was the spring of 1988?
It was the fall of 88.
Oh, so
I went through spring practice.
I can't remember. I obviously wrote the release when you weren't going to play anymore. Yeah. I couldn't remember whether it was the spring or fall. But you know, so you got a good memory. I got your game by game career stats here, and you're right. You played 47 plays. You had 5 knockdown blocks in those 47 plays. Yeah, pretty good for a freshman in his first game. Buck, I hate to leave this, but I got to go meet somebody. But Chris, it's been great to visit with you. You too. And you're doing a lot of great things for people. Buck, I'll talk to you later, man.
Okay, brother. We'll talk to you later, Tim. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thought that would be, Chris. I thought that would be good to bring. He took out his busy schedule because we own every Monday and Thursday night doing the show. So he had a little. I didn't put him out there. Had a little date he had to go through. So Tim's a good guy, man.
Tim is awesome. You know, when show passed, we had to get some information out and and they just been over backwards in the sports information department for that. And that's what family's all about, and that's what I love about the Clemson family, Buck, is it's hard to explain to people and why we're all attracted to Clemson and why we're so fanatically involved with Clemson and why we support it and why we talk about it. We wear the orange and that kind of deal. So it's just a great knowing that he's part of the staff.
Yeah, they be on me hard because you see me. I keep everything through here is Clemson. You know what I'm saying? And just like we know we did the thing for Sharon, the golf tournament last year for Sharon and everything.
Yeah.
All the football came out. That's the first time that Clemson football, men's basketball, and girls basketball came together to do something. That's really shocked me when they told me that. But we're actually doing it again this year. It will be back this year. Everybody's coming back, and hopefully you get a chance to come up from Texas. We had Coach Ford came out last year, Levon, and we had James Trapp. He came out. Big James Coley came, and so we had a lot of the guys from the football side that came and showed up, man. And so it was real good. It's a real good event.
Yeah.
So that is amazing, Chris. Like a lot of people don't understand the stories how. They just see y'all play on the field, you know what I'm saying? Then sometimes they don't know you because you got the helmet on. Like you said, you didn't have a name on the back of your jersey. Your first career game playing at Clemson, and how God, not say sorry about he discolored his shoulder, but that was your opportunity to
That's
step in, and you took advantage of that. And I know Coach Ford was kind of not say crazy back then, but he was hard guy. Like it was hard for get that approval play. So we know that even to that point that you was a good guy, you know, because after that you
yeah.
like you stayed in the game. So let's go back. I know you played against Terry. Terry been on the show a couple of times. Levon been
Yeah.
on the show too.
Yeah.
Do you have any good stories about Terry and Levon? Back
Well, Terry, and I'm talking smack here. I mean, we beat them, little military boys. We went down there to Banks one night and whoop them. Then he comes to our place. I think I scored 4 touchdowns. And I played tailback my senior year, 225 pound. Whew. But no, I love Terry Allen. Let me tell you, Terry Allen is as good as they come. And, you know, we were a year apart. And so he had a tremendous career. And just watching him in the NFL, you know, I think he had 4 major knee surgeries and kept on playing. And, I mean, I played with a guy and went to camps 3 years with him in summers as a high schooler, Wesley McFadden. And I can't say enough. You know, I can sit here and tell you the whole roster and just that's the best memories that I have, Buck, is and so I don't know if you know this, but and I think you do, but I started a little Facebook page called Tigers That Are Clemson Fit. And so we do it with the alumni of that military school I went to. I think where we do a bad job of is staying connected as athletes. You know, when we went into the locker room every day and we knew we were going to go through the grind, through a Danny Ford practice, we didn't have to always talk to one another, but we could see you. We knew you were doing well. We could tell by your facial expression if you were having a good day, a bad day, or anything like that. I missed that with my teammates. And so I started this little Facebook page, and I'm using fitness because I think it's very important that we stay healthy. You know, we lost show because of COVID, and there had to be some underlying conditions that we just didn't know about. I had COVID in Thanksgiving, and it's going to affect us all, but what we owe to each other is our best. And I love Dabo because he uses best as the standard over there. And so, and long as we're at our best and we're staying in good physical fitness. So I'm using the fitness side of it to stay connected. And so this Facebook page is open to anybody that was part of the athletic department. I don't care what sport. You could be a cheerleader, a crew, a rower, or whatever, a coach, a trainer, whatever. Get on there and just work out and post your videos and let us see your face. Because if I can see your face and I can see that you're smiling and you're happy, and I can reconnect with you, and I think it's very important that we do that. And that's what I miss the most. I miss that quality of life. I miss the locker room. I miss the times, the travel times, the games. I'm gonna tell you what, Buck. I've been hit so many times in the head. I can't remember everything, but I can remember those moments in the chow hall over there at Shaletter where we ate. I can remember Malden Hall. I can remember sitting out there on the benches. I can remember the times of traveling where we, you know, the bowl games, the things that we would do, and the love that the coaches will give to us. And I think we still need that. We owe that to ourselves because, you know, a lot of our guys that we all spread out. You know, I'm out here in Texas. I'm so far removed. You know, getting to a football game is hard for me because of my profession. I'm a football coach.
Right.
And so even getting to the spring game, because usually we're in track season here. And so we all coach track out here as a football coach. So I'm going to try to make it to the spring game this year. I want to play in the golf tournament. I'm trying to stay in shape so I can play in that touch football game. And I'll probably pull both hamstrings, but
yeah.
And I want to come and hug your neck, Buck. I mean, if I jump up that damn high.
Well, you said it good, man. Because that's what I do. That's why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
Clemson, and everybody at Clemson say all the guys. They say, "Well, Buck is the guy to bring everybody back together." I stay in contact with the old, the new, and that's one of the reasons I created this golf tournament to help former Clemson players, football, basketball, and we actually this year IPTAY and Block C is coming aboard be a part of it, and we're gonna have a Saturday. If they it's gonna be a 3-day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We play the golf tournament on that Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna be the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and it's football, basketball, girls basketball. We all come together, have a picnic, walk around campus. Well, they're gonna rent a bus, drive us around campus, show us all the
Yeah.
new stuff, but it's all of us interacting, all the former players. Last year we had such a good time, man,
Yeah.
and even in the time of need. But the situation I'm doing with raising the money is if we have a former football player or basketball player need somebody pass away, we'll send flowers to that person's family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We hope helping a couple local areas in Clemson and Seneca in the surrounding areas. So that's where the proceeds all go out to that. And
Yeah.
this opportunity that when COVID's down, all these kids get to come and they ain't got to pay no money to see and see the former players, the older guys. They know them new guys. But
Yeah.
I like to say this is where it all started from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right there.
Mhm.
The 80s, the early 80s, 90s. You can't have a future if you don't have a past.
No
That's
doubt.
I always say that. So y'all paved the way. Clemson always been a wonderful football team. To me, when I got there in '88 and '89, I was at every game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Enjoyed watching y'all play from the first guy to the last guy. We look forward to Saturdays.
Mhm.
Look
Yeah.
forward coming down, running down the hill.
Mhm.
I just tell coach, I said, why we can't have a hill ourselves in the little John? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
Y-
that's the first place I got chills on my arm, man. I
Yeah.
remember in '89 when y'all played Florida State and
Yep.
Deion Sanders came to town.
Yep.
It seemed like right after the first one kicked, Chris Cordagi kicked the ball off, like heaven just opened up and it started thundering and
Yeah.
it's like one of the movies, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I remember that's the first game I remember like really sits in the back of my mind, like and it was a hard fought game, man. And it was just I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed watching y'all play, man. So and
You
everything.
know what, Buck? I'm gonna give a basketball story here. Now it's on the girls' side, but Coach Davis was the basketball coach when I was there. When I couldn't play anymore, I sweet talked John Saketa into letting me be the Tiger for a girls' basketball game.
For real.
And Coach Davis knew that. And so I put on a show and did all that. And then I got to go and do a IPTAY. The regular Tiger couldn't make one of those trips to IPTAY banquet up in, I believe it was in, Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I got the suit and I traveled up and I did the parade. And so those are some moments that I still remember. Going to Max Drive-In, and
I go
just
there every time I go back.
awesome.
I stop in there every time I go to Clemson.
And I'm not one of those guys that, I'm going to sit here and complain about facilities changing or we didn't have, no. I want it to get as best as it can be. And I want the kids today to enjoy. We had our moments. My job and our job as X is to appreciate it and to support it and give back to what was given to us, because
Right.
I would never have been there if it wasn't for football. And I'm pretty sure it was the same way for you with basketball.
That's
and,
right.
and so it gave a kid from Mableton, Georgia, a redheaded, freckle-faced ginger, an opportunity to go and enjoy all those moments. And just being able to be part of that family was enough for me. And so I wished I had all the money in the world where I could give back. I wished I, played 20 years or 15 years in the league and made millions. But I'll give you my heart, and I'll give you whatever.
Right.
Just call me.
That's it. That's all we do. Hey, Chris, we're gonna take a commercial break right here. I gotta play
Okay.
this commercial, and we'll come back and finish up on the story. Okay.
Okay, 10-4.
Sportsmanship have seemingly disappeared, Coach Wayne Buckingham started W.A.B. Sports. His focus is on mentoring our younger generation and teaching valuable life skills that go way beyond the field of play. Whether it's football or basketball, he has a specialized camp designed to address the challenges the youth of today face daily. He believes it's all about teaching healthy habits now in order for those lessons to be applied to their future decisions. W.A.B. Sports raises the money for these camps with various charity golf tournaments yearly. W.A.B. Sports also offers scholarships so that these young men and women have a greater chance at success in their life after sports. Coach Wayne truly believes the best thing in life is making a positive difference. W.A.B. Sports depends solely on donation. If you feel led to donate, contact Coach Wayne Buckingham at W.A.B. Sports, the number 4 at gmail.com. That's W.A.B. Sports, the number 4 at gmail.
Hey, we are with Mr. Chris. Hey, Chris, man, so love it, man. I know we had some great times at Clemson. Let's move down in Texas, and I know we covered a little bit with the kids, you coaching down there. So let's go into. I know you. What's the name of the high school that you coach at now?
Right, it's called Academy High School. We're a public school, but we're right here in Central Texas. The biggest town is called Temple. We're in the Temple, Killeen, Fort Hood, Belton area, right in Central Texas, off the Interstate 35. We're kind of out towards the east, and great little community. I say little, we're growing, we're booming. We're 3A right now, right. And we're just growing, and we got great leadership from the superintendent all the way down to the school board, and just great kids, and so just very blessed to be here.
So you're coaching football, you do track.
Well, I help out. I'm the head football coach and the strength and conditioning coach of the whole school district, and so. And then I try to help out wherever needed with track. I'm also the head powerlifting coach. The basketball coach doesn't need my help. In fact, our kids, Buck, they're in the what we call regional tournament starting tomorrow night. So if they win this weekend, they'll move on to the state and state semifinals. So very talented there. We got some tremendous players. And they were all football players, too. Our starting 5 all played football for me. So it's just great to go and be able to support those kids.
So, okay, that's good. So, Chris, what else, living in that area down in Texas, is any other thing? What do you do outside of football in the communities or any other stuff you got going on? I know you're busy. I already know. I know you're busy.
About the only time I got is to take a nap and go to sleep because I'm actually living. I live in Crawford, Texas, and my wife is from Crawford, Texas, and so when I got out of the college ranks, I said, you know what, and I'm gonna settle, and so we built a house there on some family land on her side. So I actually drive 44 miles to work, and so, but I still love to play golf. I love to play golf. I play golf. I love to stay fit. I think exercise. I was very blessed with a great mom and daddy. Both of them are still alive. My dad's 79 years old, and he's fit, probably in better shape than I am. And so my mom and dad always instilled physical fitness. We were always active. And so they gave me every opportunity. I was probably spoiled a little bit, but I was loved a lot. And there was high expectations set on me in everything we did. And so that's very important to me. And I've passed that trait down to my 3 daughters. I've got 2 daughters from a first marriage, and I've got a stepdaughter who I've had since she was 5. And I can't say enough. They're all athletes and very successful, and they're all educated. One's working on her PhD. Clemson's getting her master's, and she's an artist. And then Haley's down at Texas A&M. And so we're very blessed. I have no grandchildren yet. I know I'm just 53 years of age, so I'm getting on up there, and it'll happen one day. But
yeah. So John just asked. He said, "What is your Facebook group page again?"
Exactly.
So, yeah. Make sure you let everybody know.
I will. It's Tigers that are Clemson fit. And,
so I guess they're gonna ask next, John. Cause we got a lot of followers on here, man. So a lot of people might want to follow your page. If they're not a Tiger, can they still get on?
Yeah, we'll let you on, but you got to post. You got to be able to do some push-ups. You got to exercise. You got to post. And so we got some guys. I think we got 179 members, and they're not all posting. So I'm gonna have to go up and I'm gonna have to dadgum get my whistle out and get old Danny Ford. We're gonna have to go to some houses and knock on some doors and get some exercise going.
But you know that's a great thing. As coach learned about Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, so that's my school board president here, and that's a trick play we have here. It's called Dr. Pepper, stands for double pass, and so we had to break it out this year, and it works. And Calvin thinks he knows every trick play in America, and I said, well, damn, Calvin, aren't they all trick plays? So he likes to pick on me, because he went to Duke. Yeah.
Oh, he went to Duke.
Yeah.
Hey, what you do? He in Texas went to Duke. I think Antonio Lane lives down in Texas too to play to Duke. He stays down there in Texas. Well, that's good, man. Because I follow you on Facebook and I be keeping up with you, man. And
I follow you
always
too.
Try to keep up with everybody, the players and stuff, what's going on. Because my thing is this: you got your regular family and then you got your school family. And I kind of feel the same way you felt. Staying connected with with Dale Batry and Larry and all them guys was used to mentor me and call me, so I got a relationship with them. So it kind of helped me grow into where I'm at. So I did it when I graduated. I stayed with the Bookers, the Stitts, and the younger guys, and mentored them at Clemson. So I think even with the coaching that we do now, you ask. I say this, I kind of rubs off the same way. I'm an old-fashioned coach, kind of like how you're speaking. When I coach with my young girls, we touch a lot of kids. We do basketball, football. We have a big youth football camp up here. Have about 400 or 500 kids come to that every year. It's free. Bring doctors and kids. Talk to the parents about concussion protocol. So, we're kind of doing the same thing. I know you're in the school, but I'm all over. I'm in Clemson, Atlanta, Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I'm on on this region. I'm trying to touch lives. So that's kind of what I did after I retired, man. And I love moments like this to give y'all this plateau to talk and let people know what you got going on now, man.
Yeah.
Just it's not from the big guy to the small guy. Like we all the same, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. We all carrying the Clemson name and doing great stuff in our communities and helping younger kids get further education. That's how I look at it. And I'm very proud of what you talk about your mom and dad. I know they're very proud of you. Are you the only child, or
I am?
So are you spoiled rotten?
I am. I'm spoiled, but I was sent to military school at age 12. So
was your dad in the military? Or
my dad was a fireman. Now he did his time in the military. He got drafted, and I was born really at Fort Rucker in Alabama, but we grew up in the Atlanta area. My dad was ended up being a chief of the fire department there in Fulton County, and
in Fulton County. I went to school in Fulton County at Roosevelt in Southside.
I'll be done.
What years was he down there? Like what years y'all was in Fulton? Because we the same age, really. I came out. You graduated in 88? 80. When you graduated?
December of 89. My freshman year was 85 at Clemson.
Your freshman year was 85?
At Clemson, yeah.
Yeah, mine was 88, so you a couple years ahead of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, you're not gray yet. You're looking good. You're not as gray yet. You'll get there.
Hey, I try to stay worry free. Even myself. I had a stroke and a heart attack after the tournament last year. God bless me, kept me here for a reason. So, I just really, after I retired in 2005, I just dedicated my life to helping others reach their goals. And that's what makes me happy,
Awesome.
And everything. So, but yeah, it's always good, man. And I love for you to stay on board with us, man, and follow us. If anytime you want to come on and promote the Clemson thing with the sit-ups, the workouts, we feel free to let me know. We can do a special on that.
Yeah.
To get you out there with our followers and everything. But Chris, it was a pleasure, man, catching up with you tonight, man, and spending this time with you, getting to meet an old Tiger.
That's right.
and everything. And wish you all the success down there, man. And hope you that you the tournament this year is June the fifth, the fifth, sixth, and seventh. That's a
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah.
make sure you put that on your schedule, man. And if you can get away doing that's in the summer, we're gonna be doing it every summer. So I do the golf tournament part, where give everybody something to do, help raise money
Right.
for local charities. Gip Tay and Block C does that Saturday, all day Saturday, and that Sunday morning brunch. Then that Saturday night we have the draft party and stuff at the golf club, and everything, and getting ready for the tournament. It's just a fun outing, man. Guys love it, fly in and stuff. And I actually talked to Ashley Shepherd. You remember Ashley Shepherd?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I actually just talked to him the other day, man. It took me 10 years to get his phone number.
Really.
Ashley was my roommate in the summertime when we used to live off campus. And I told Ashley, I said, only way you gonna be my roommate, you gotta get rid of one of them rock wallers you got. He had them two big old rock wallers.
Yeah. So, I came back in '92 season when Ken Hatfield was a coach and was a graduate assistant. So, we had Brinston Buckner. We had all that, Brian Dawkins. We had all that group right there and some great players.
Yeah, so, I'm not so proud of Brian, man. I just found out Brian is actually, out of all the guys that came to Clemson, he's the only guy that's got a yellow jacket. You know that?
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it?
That's amazing. And we had, we got some names to throw out that been to the league.
Unbelievable.
And he's the first one,
Yeah.
But
yeah. You're getting praise there. Yep.
Well, yeah,
You do, Buck. I can see your heart, and I appreciate what you do, especially for your kids there and your coaching and what you're doing. And it's it's our platform, and
that's it, man.
You do a great job.
Hey, somebody did it for us. Hey,
no doubt.
You talking about you from down in a little town? I'm from Belleville, population 500.
Yeah. I'll be done. Yeah.
And still 500.
Yeah. Yeah.
We famous for a restaurant. But God blessed us, man. And
He did.
And I guess as we get this age, like coaching, I love coaching and teaching because it keeps me around the game, and it keeps me motivated to wake up every morning and get out and move around.
It keeps us young too, and keeps us connected with what's going on in our society and our generation.
They sure have changed. They done changed since we've been growing up. They done changed the 99 degree all the way around since we grown up.
No doubt.
These kids don't know what work is.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, Chris, we do warm ups. They talking about practice over. I said, this warm ups.
I know, but Wayne, you got to trick them into it. You got to make them think, and you still they're still kids. You can still get out of them what you want, and still have discipline. You just got to do it a different way. You got to be an Andy Griffin, and sometimes the Barney Fife method doesn't work in society today, and you got to tell them why and how it's going to help them. Back in our day, hell, they didn't tell us why. We just did it in fear.
Yeah.
I remember one day the assistant coaches talked Coach Ford in to say, why don't we go try to practice with shorts and shoulder pads? It was a new fad coming out. All the colleges were trying. He goes, all right, but tell them to bring their pants and put them on the sidelines, because if they ain't going full speed, we're going to put them pants on right there on the sideline.
In his mind, he's like, well, how can you go full speed? You ain't got your thigh pads on your knee pads. Hey,
Exactly.
Man, I'll tell you. But y'all had some practices over there, man. I remember we used to be down there working out in Jersey. Well, it sounded like thunder and lightning over across that bridge, boy.
And I wonder why my neck didn't last, So,
Hey.
I mean, hitting Levon Kirkland every day. I mean, come on. And he's a great person, isn't he? And
that's why.
But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And it was just playing those 3 years, the best 3 years of my life, and then being able to see it on the other side as a coach and being in those staff rooms and listening to everything. And then, just I just wish I could have stayed longer and been a part of the community longer and maybe raise a family there too, you know, and because when you go all the way halfway across, you know, to the United States, you get so far removed, and that's what happened to Shonar and I. You know, we were out here, and so we bonded. We stayed close and stayed connected because we were so far removed from all our teammates and this and that. And you know, I'm jealous of a lot of our teammates that are still there. Rodney Williams still in the area. I talked to Matt Riggs the other day, Chris Morocco, and Danny Pearman. Hell, he's able to coach there, you know. And now he's in the scouting department. But I mean, it's just it's hard to describe, Wayne. And you know that. And you're living in Tennessee now, and
I'm 8 hours away. It's 16 hours, 8 there and back. But you know, like, and that's been my life. You know, I tell everybody, my whole life has been hotels. And I guess that's probably why I'm not married. That's probably why I ain't got no kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I never did what you did. I never really settled. But I'm doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing it now, but I'm still traveling. But in my young years, you know, playing ball overseas, coming home, leaving. You know, I just never really had that selling situation yet. So I'm at 50 now, trying to settle. It's crazy. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, when I go to Clemson, I go back to Clemson, I feel right at home.
Yep.
It's just a feeling that I get when I get there. It's like coming home from the war. I guess I'd say that. Like, just like when I come to Bell Buckle, I come home, I got that feeling. But when I go back to Clemson, I got that same feeling. And especially like in the summertime when I see everybody and you ain't seen them, you like, I got 3 kids. You know, I got 4 kids. I got kids in college. Like, I'm like, wow, for real? You know, then I'd be like, well, I ain't got no kids, but you know, but it's just that feeling. So, man, most definitely, Chris, tell the boys, all your friends, that you tell them you coming, tell them to meet you. It's a free fun weekend. We'll have hotels lined up, great discounts. Just mark it on your calendar, man. Tell them you gotta leave practice. You gotta go to. I think the spring game is right around the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's right around the same time, but I know y'all do a lot of stuff at that same time. But this is just the opportunity that you can play some golf and be with football, basketball, and you know we got some boy baseball players coming back this year too. So it's open to like you doing the weight thing. It's open for everybody that went to Clemson.
Awesome. Come
and enjoy yourself, man. And Chris, I appreciate you being on the show. We got about 2 minutes. I got to run this last commercial out. And other than that, man, and we'll be praying for you. Hope to see you this summer. Appreciate you coming to W.A.B. Sports Talk Show. You're more than welcome anytime to come on here. I love to come on there and broadcast one of your games. You know, they're going to set us up in your stand. We can do it, you know, just like there was somebody broadcasting and be showing the game, get some interviews. Because we got a lot of Clemson followers on here and everything. So maybe we can talk about that when the season come back, man, and let you be a part of W.A.B. Sports Talk, okay?
Thank you so much, bud.
I appreciate you, bro. Love you, man. See you.
Too.
Go Clemson Tigers.
Go
brother.
Tigers.
All right.
Okay.
Otis Nixon found incredible success in baseball. He holds records for stolen bases in a single game, as well as a single season for the Atlanta Braves. He played in numerous World Series games and has the record for most career stolen bases from a non-All-Star player with 620. But as high as Otis soared on the field, his personal life hit many lows. Otis has turned these lows into his personal testimony to share with others. Through his Otis Nixon Foundation, he is providing mentoring through various outreach programs. He is also happy to come to your church to share his past and hopefully show others just because you fall down doesn't mean you can't get up. Jesus loves us all, even in our darkest moments. If you would like to help Otis spread his message, please visit his website, www.otisnixon1foundation.org. That's www.otisnixonfoundation.
Hey, how y'all doing? This is Coach Bub. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope y'all will join us next week, Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Thursday nights for our Life After Sports. Had a wonderful time sitting down with Chris Lancaster, former Clemson So this is what we do. Follow us here. If you want to know more about W.A.B. Sports, you can go to our WABsports.com. It's our Facebook page and our website. We actually be getting ready for our golf tournaments this year. We'll be running ads about that next week. We have one in Clemson, South Carolina. We have one in Columbia, South Carolina, Batesburg, Leesville. We have one in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We have one here in Manchester, Tennessee. We'll be coming back live with that. We appreciate y'all joining the show. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email or text. Give us a call at 331-472-9828. Signing off. Good night. Hope you have a wonderful time. Coach Wayne Buckingham, W.A.B. Sports Talk.
Sportsmanship have seemingly disappeared. Coach Wayne Buckingham started W.A.B. Sports. His focus is on mentoring our younger generation and teaching valuable life skills that go way beyond the field of play. Whether it's football or basketball, he has a specialized sports camp designed to address the challenges the youth of today face daily. He believes it's all about teaching healthy habits now in order for those lessons to be applied to their future decisions. W.A.B. Sports raises the money for these camps with various charity golf tournaments yearly. W.A.B. Sports also offers scholarships so that these young men and women have a greater chance at success in their life after sports. Coach Wayne truly believes the best thing in life is making a positive difference. W.A.B. Sports depends solely on donation. If you feel led to donate, contact Coach Wayne Buckingham at WABsports4@gmail.com. That's WABsports4@gmail.com.